Go ahead.
Our mission, Helping Parents Heal, is a nonprofit organization dedicated to assisting parents whose children have passed. Through support and resources offered, we aspire to help individuals become shining light parents, meaning a shift from a state of emotional heaviness to one of hopefulness and greater peace of mind. HPH goes a step beyond other groups by allowing the open discussion of spiritual experiences and afterlife evidence in a non-dogmatic way. HPH affiliate groups welcome everyone, regardless of religious or non-religious background, and encourage open dialogue. Attendance at this meeting is voluntary. We hope that participants will learn from and share with each other. Discussions here are confidential and not designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. Zoom meetings run by leadership are not confidential. These meetings typically feature guest presenters and are posted on YouTube so that affiliate members worldwide can watch and benefit. Neither type of HPH meeting is designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. Helping Parents Heal offers a wide variety of speakers, allowing parents to learn about many possible ways to heal. This includes presenters covering progressive topics such as afterlife evidence and connecting with children who have passed. The views expressed by our guest speakers may or may not reflect the opinions of Helping Parents Heal leaders and members, so we ask that you take from their presentations whatever may benefit you personally. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you for doing that mission statement. I appreciate it. And I just want to let everybody here know that, first of all, we're thrilled that you're here. If you'd like to maybe just tell us where you're from, who you are, if you're an affiliate leader, caring listener, or on the board. And I know that a lot of you were at the conference when Jeff and Farah sang this song that Farah wrote that was so incredible. It was such an incredible evening. It was at the banquet that we had it happen. And here comes Rick. And we were so thrilled that Farah would want to write a song specifically for Helping Parents Heal, specifically for the kids.
I didn't have much of a choice.
Well, and of course it was because of the kids that she also wrote this book. She had no choice in the matter for this book either, and they forced her to write this. So she's pretty busy with our kids, which is wonderful. But what I wanted to do this evening is to, first of all, play the song, because that's something that I think everybody would love to be able to hear. And then I would love for all of you to hear the magic that happened making the song, because our kids were with all of these people who were a part of this, including Rick Wilcoxson, who is somewhere here now. So, oh, there he is. And they're all going to tell a little bit about how this came together and how the kids participated in the making of this beautiful song. So if you guys are all okay with me doing this, I'm going to go ahead and first play the song. Is that okay? Yes?
Thank you so much.
Okay, so let's do that. Let me quickly go onto my desktop. I don't want to keep from admitting people. It's so funny because it's different when you're on the meeting as opposed to, okay, I'm going to be able to do this though. I know I can do this. It's always a little bit complicated. Here we go. On the day I went to heaven, your life changed. All the things that seemed so simple just began to feel so strange. You never dreamed your life would go on without me. Living life without a child isn't how it's supposed to be. Every day you live in life with all the pain you have inside, I'm proud
We can't hear it,
Can't
Elizabeth.
hear it anymore,
And
Elizabeth. You
stopped.
might have muted it. Elizabeth muted herself.
Oh, she did. Okay, let me see if I can unmute her.
She's still enjoying the song.
My memories you keep inside your heart. We're not apart. And let me make one last request. Just live your life and do the best that you can do. For every day that you live on is a day that I'm not gone. I'm in your heart. We're not apart. I'm here with you.
Whoa. That is just so beautiful. Congratulations.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
And now I think that the best way to start is to have Farah explain how this song started and then maybe have everyone join in after. But first of all, Farah is a certified medium for helping parents heal. She's been with us for such a long time, probably longer than most of the parents who are here. She is also the author of some very incredible books, now available on audiobook. Again, as I say, this one is available on audiobook, but all of her books are available right now because Amazon just approached her to do that. So, Farah, can you tell us where the inspiration for this song came from?
Okay, this story is going to start with me for a moment, but I'm going to throw this story back and forth at the people who also joined me on this journey with this song, because as much as I thought this was my song, it is so much bigger than me. And yes, I'm the one who wrote the words down on the paper, but it really started, I was driving in my car, and you guys, when I am driving in my car, it is my time with heaven. I don't turn my radio on. I have not turned my radio on in my car for the last 13 years. It's my time that I get with myself and my, my heavenly connection, just me and heaven speaking. And it's a time where I get a lot of inspiration from heaven. So it's not by chance that a lot of stuff starts when I'm in my car. And I started to get the words to this song really just given to me by the kids. The kids, the conference was coming, the Helping Parents Heal conference was coming. And it is the conference that we just had this last August of 2024. And so it was months prior to the conference. And the kids were on my mind, and I started getting these words to this song to the point where I literally pulled my car over and got my phone out, and I was recording little blips of myself singing it, because if anybody else knows me on a human level, I have the memory of a fly. And especially when I'm getting things from heaven, because it's not my words, it's not my things. So I didn't want to miss the things that were coming to me. And I probably had about 6 different videos from that car trip of me pulling over and stopping and singing more of it and singing this and singing that. I got home, I wrote all the words down. I had to keep listening to all the different videos that I created. And I wrote all these words down, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's a whole song. It was a whole song, minus the words, I'm here with you. Those words did not exist on the song that I had written down. And I recorded myself with no makeup. My hair was terrible, and just singing the whole thing through a cappella one time. And I messaged Elizabeth and I said, Elizabeth, like, I have this song that these kids like literally gave to me. And I feel like if there's anywhere that you could put me at this conference to sing this song for these parents, I would love that. And Elizabeth is so sweet. And I even said to her, look, don't be sweet and just welcome it because it's me. I really want to know like your honest opinion about this song. And she loved it, and she sent it to Irene, and Irene loved it. And she goes, okay, so we would love for you to do it at a conference. And I said, well, there's a problem. I don't have accompaniment. I don't play an instrument. I can sing, and I can write, but I don't play an instrument. And so my first thought was, you know what, maybe Mark Ireland, because I knew Mark Ireland played guitar, and he had met Michelle Claire and I for dinner a couple times, so I knew we had talks about guitar. And so he kind of popped into my head, like, okay, I could ask him, and as I talked to Elizabeth on the phone, Elizabeth said, well, like, I think Mark would be a great opportunity. But the problem is Mark was out of state. We weren't going to be able to get together and really practice this and get the foundation for it before the conference. Not that my guitar player and I had too much time. But she said, might I suggest Jeff Hollahan? And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you did. I didn't even think of Jeff. I was so excited about the song. Honestly, I didn't know where to go with it. And I find that heaven paves the way for things that are meant to be without me having to do much, which is great because I will be all over the place. So I reached out to Jeff Hollahan and I started IMing him on Facebook, and I said, look, like, can I, talk to you about this song? And here it is. And I sent him a video of me singing it a cappella. Again, he got the same video, I think, with no makeup, no hair done. And like, this is what I have. And is there any way that you can come up with guitar for this? And he's like, what are you thinking? And I said, I'm thinking finger picking, like, make it beautiful. I want this to be a message of love for the parents from their kids. And Jeff was like, and I said, can you finger pick? Because again, I don't know Jeff's playing abilities on guitar. Elizabeth suggested him. I've never played guitar with, or sang with Jeff before. And Jeff's like, can I finger pick? Yeah, I can finger pick. And I was like, oh, thank you, God. Okay, so I had this in Jeff's hands. And then I will let Jeff actually jump in on this story, because there's something really profound that Jeff discovered the first time that he listened to that song. So I'm going to throw this over to Jeff for a moment, actually, if he'll unmute himself.
I think I'm unmuted. Well, first of all, Fara, you're still absolutely beautiful with no makeup. And
Thank you.
so yeah, I was honored that that Elizabeth thought of me and that Fara reached out, and she sent me her recording, and I kind of figured that the music would kind of make itself known to me. So I listened to it several times a day for several days and just kind of tried to figure out what I was hearing. And it came to me. It was basically what you hear in the recording. Not much changed from the time that I first played it until we went into the recording studio. But it was interesting, as I was playing this, I felt a sense of familiarity with the music, the accompaniment that I had written. And I have being almost 67 years old, I find that I do some of my most creative stuff late at night. The problem is that you do it late at night, when you wake up the next morning, unless it's recorded, it's gone. It's just gone. So I've gotten into the habit of just, propping up my phone on a stand and filming myself with it. So I have, I've got a file of musical ideas. And I thought, man, this really sounds familiar. So I went back and looked at a musical idea that I had sketched out about 3 weeks prior to that. And the accompaniment had already been written. It was written in the same key, the same chords, the same, almost the same picking pattern, but it was already written. And I'm not sure, I guess I am sure now how that came to be. If I could for a second, because my lovely wife Lynn has something to add to that. If you could unmute her for a second. This is something that just came to light a few days ago.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jeff's wife. And so on Friday of last week, I was doing the test reading for Mark Ireland. And one of the things that came up in the reading was, oh, I see your son is a musician, and so is your husband. I said, yes. And he said, oh, your son says he just wrote a song for your husband. So obviously this was the song that Devin in spirit wrote, sent to his dad to help Fara with her song. So the music was written, the song was written, Spirit took care of it all. So that confirmed the music did come from heaven, as Fara would say.
Yeah, yeah. So as Jeff came up with the accompaniment for this song, you know, he was literally shooting videos back to me on IM because I'm so busy. He's busy as well. And we had this conference coming and we needed to get this song down, but we didn't have time to get together constantly for it. And so we finally set up a date that he was comfortable with what he was playing and I was comfortable with singing it. So we were going to get together and try it out for the first time at his home. So as I was driving to his home, again, I don't have my radio on and I'm on my way to Jeff's house and I'm singing through the song because this is the only moment that I had to sing through it because I had done readings all day that day. And as I'm singing the song on the way to Jeff's house, again, the hook line of I'm here with you was not part of the song until I was on the road on the way to Jeff's house. And I'm like, okay, you kids, like you have to keep inspiring this song for me. Now, little did I know that Jeff had that story of his son, Devin, already inspiring the guitar long before I sent him the video of me singing it a cappella. And I didn't actually find that out till later, which is so cool. But on the way there, I sang through it. And after the chorus was over, I added, I'm here with you in the words. And I sang it just the way that I did in the song. And I get to Jeff's house and we're singing the song really quick. And he stops me and he goes, you know, usually a song has a hook line, something that, you know, like, you know, is really like the big message in the song or whatever. And he's like, and this is so profound. I just feel like it needs something. And I said, Jeff, I got it on the way here. And he goes, you did? And I said, I'm here with you. And I sang it for him. And he goes, that's it. That's the title of the song. And I was thinking, oh, thank God you said that because I didn't know what to title it. So, you know, it was really just kind of going back and forth between Jeff and I and these kids. And obviously Devin, you know, Lynn and Jeff's son has a huge hand in this. Devin would have known that his dad was going to be a part of this song. And Devin would have been working with his dad ahead of time going, Dad, come on, I'll help you out, you know, and I'm going to give you this, and this is what it's going to be, right? I mean, that's how heaven works. And as much as we want to like discount things on the human sense of like, okay, that couldn't have been, this song gets so much more profound than just even these moments. We're not done with the story yet. So I get to Jeff's house, we sing it, we add the hook line in it, we've got it. Then I go and we sing it at the conference. And as we sing it at the conference, every single parent in that room felt their child, which was really, truly the purpose behind this song. This song is saying, look, I know that things haven't been the same for you since I passed. I know that everything that seemed so easy and so normal for you before I graduated to heaven is so much more difficult and so much, you know, more of a struggle for you, but I'm here and I'm seeing you and I'm hearing you and you know, and I don't have any last requests other than just live your life and do the best that you can do. You can't even do it wrong. And that's really what the message behind this song was from these kids. And when we sang it at the conference, there was not a dry eye in the house for the most part that I saw. In fact, I didn't look at the audience, just so you guys know, because there was no damn way that I could start crying and keep singing. So I tried to look up and pass. That was what I was taught when I was younger, when I was singing. And at the end of the conference, I stayed an extra day. I stayed an extra day at the conference because it ended on Sunday and I didn't want to check out till Monday to give myself some time to unwind and really process everything I had been through before I went home back to the real world because that conference center feels so beautiful. And so as I'm in the pool with a drink in hand and I'm unwinding because the conference is over, these two women walked up to me in the pool. Actually, multiple people walked up to me in the pool that day. These two women walked up and one of them actually wore her clothes, her regular street clothes, and walked into the pool to meet me, one of the two women that were together. And she introduced herself and she said, I own the best recording studio in the entire state of Arizona. We're #2 in the world, and I would love to record that song for you. And I'll trade you work for it. And her request was so amazingly beautiful, because the work that she was asking for was going to be something so profound for her. It was not just a reading that she wanted, and I'm going to keep her reading private, just because I haven't spoken to her about sharing information. But in the end, we ended up in that recording studio, and I would say that heaven worked overtime for that moment, because again, I didn't have to do anything. It just happened. And all of a sudden, we're going to be walking into a recording studio. And then Jeff said to me, I think that we need some harmony on the song if we're going to record this. And he goes, can you sing harmony, Farah? And I was like, no. So I'm not a good harmonizer. I never have been. I've always sang lead. I've turned down a couple recording contracts in my lifetime. And I have a strong voice, but it's not my thing to harmonize. And so when I was trying to think of, okay, well, how are we going to pull this off? My girlfriend, Laura, popped into my head, and I reached out to her and asked her if she would join us on this song. And I'll let her take it from here for a minute.
Sure. Farah, like she mentioned, reached out to me, and we'd known each other for several years, but we hadn't really done a lot of singing together per se. So when she reached out, I was, of course, honored and jumped at the chance. But as this went along and as I got more involved in it, I just thought, what an incredible gift. And I'm just really grateful to be a part of it. A little
Thank
tender,
you.
sorry.
Aw. I love you.
Love you.
Appreciate it. So Laura jumped at it, and it touched her so deeply. Laura doesn't have a child in heaven, and she didn't have the comprehension of understanding that, but she had a love and compassion for this song that was so great that I just appreciate her so much. And I took her to Jeff and Lynn's house, and we practiced a little bit more before we went into the recording studio. And then there's Rick Wilcoxson. So I'm sorry, Rick, I forgot about the conference thing. So I need to go back to the conference for a second, because as we did the song live at the conference, Rick was doing the video, and he was taking pictures, and he was doing the audio and doing all these things to make sure that he captured this moment that was going to be so beautiful on stage for these parents. And there was a little mishap with his audio on stage. Rick, are you on here? Is he on here?
Rick,
he is.
unmute.
Yep.
Go ahead and unmute. You can do it. Yeah. There you go.
Hey,
Hi.
I'm here.
So you want to tell them the story about the audio and the...
Sure. And I got to say, I didn't have anything to do with the making of the song, but I got to witness it, and I thought it was great. It was very professional. Jeff, Farah, and Laura, and I'm grateful to have been there. But
So
the conference,
yes.
we were set up to get the audio, and there was a mishap, and we didn't get the pure direct audio. What I got was video from cameras, and I am making a video of the conference. And yes, Elizabeth, it's in the works still. But I want to make it something special. The last one, people say they listen to it over and over and over, and I wanted to make sure that I had a pure version of Farah's song. It was a secret. Nobody
Yes.
could know about this surprise, so it
Yes.
couldn't get too involved. And then, so the direct music didn't occur.
But that was heaven working overtime to
Yeah.
make sure that it didn't, which is why I wanted him to jump in there, right? So as we were getting ready to go to the recording studio and we had our date, I reached out to Rick. And I knew that Rick was kind of disappointed that he didn't have this audio, but he had video footage. And I sent a message to Rick saying, hey, I know that your audio didn't work out, but, I would love to invite you to the studio to join us in case you want any extra footage or, and for the conference video that you're making or whatever you need it for or don't need it for. But I just didn't want to not give you the opportunity. And little did I know at that point, Rick and Lisa's children were also working overtime to make sure that Rick got to that recording studio that day, which is why the audio didn't work out. Heaven's going to be continuing to work overtime through this story. So Rick, as you walked into the studio, I'll let you.
Okay, I would say there's more to that. And signs, I say signs to people. You can explain them all the time. Gosh, I got this sign, and people, that's nice. But if you feel them, they're really a sign. And my first one started that morning. We were in Sedona, and we were going to go down to Phoenix to the recording studio. And I'm out on the patio, and there's a group of ravens flying around. And ravens, I always see them and think of Devin, Lynn, and Jeff. Is it possible to share my screen?
Yes, let me just make sure. Well, you're a co-host, so you can share it. You should be able to share it. Is there a green share button at the bottom?
Yeah, let me
Yes.
try this. So, and I'm not real good at this, so I may have to fumble around a little. So in the morning, I'm thinking, oh, this is beautiful in Sedona. Can you see that? Share the window. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yes. Oh, the ravens. Yes.
There's a bunch of ravens off our patio. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, there's Devin. It reminds me of Devin and Jeff and Lynn. So I was so excited to be able to share that. So I took pictures to show them in the studio. And Jeff was preoccupied. I don't know that he noticed it that much. So that was one thing I'll come back to. So Devin reminded me, or gave me a sign that I felt in the morning that I wanted to share with Jeff and Lynn. Then when I walked into the studio, do you see my screen?
No, I stopped your share. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I got another
Let's do it
picture.
again.
This is a picture of the studio. Uh-oh, do I have to get back to me?
You have to
Okay,
share screen again.
Okay. Try share. Can you see it?
No, we see everybody.
Uh-oh.
You picked the wrong screen to share.
See, I'm not very good at this. Sorry, everyone. I'm gonna share the window. Okay. How about that?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
That's the scene inside the studio, and I was walking in first. I saw them play. They were rehearsing when I walked in, and I looked around and said, "Oh my gosh, that looks like Prince's guitar in the purple." Lisa may be able to share if she wants to do a little more about that, but Prince is a very significant thing, a message to me. And Lisa, a reading that she had by another medium, talked about seeing all purple. And we were on our way to Minnesota, and we went to Prince's studio, and I got chills when I felt Anthony and Michael there with Prince. But Lisa can tell you the story. I wasn't in that reading. She told me about it later, but I was there with Prince. And so when I walked into the studio, this was a wink to me from Anthony seeing Prince's guitar. And right behind there's this tiny little window where you could see Jeff and Fara. So that was my sign when I was there at the studio. It was only later, after I was showing Lisa, hey, look, it was very cool. We saw this in the studio, that she pointed out this silhouette of Sedona. And there it is. There's Sedona the mountains. It's not exactly, but it sure is the impression. They said that is Sedona. This is our Sedona and the Ravens. And there's one more little piece. When I started to download the
I'm sorry, I stopped your share again, Rick. I
oh,
thought you were
Susanna,
done.
you're gonna make me do it again. Okay, let me see. Sorry. Okay, I'm
He's
gonna
gonna be a
share this.
professional at it when he gets it.
Yeah, I'll get. So when I started to download the videos that I shot and taken in, can you see it now? Oh, here we go. The videos I shot, here's my file folders. You see my circle. And then Sedona Crows, I downloaded them. And the very first video that I'd taken of the Ravens was number 4727. Anthony's birth date is 7/27, and we always know that that is Anthony, and that video that I shot of the Raven was 4727. That was another sign for me. So
Well, you
now
just
you can
threw
stop.
that on me. I didn't know that.
So now you can stop my window share. That's I wanted to show those things, but that was my experience, and that's what I shared with them. And I think that's what you're talking about, Farah, that just
It
the
is.
signs and
Yes, and on top of that, not only did Devin touch your heart, you know, in that moment, in that morning, but I think there was another, I don't think that we got to see the screen share, but when Rick got home and took a double look at that same mountain view that he had in that picture behind those ravens, the silhouette that he was talking about that was above, it was like almost like a little cutout that was above Prince's guitar in the music studio. It looked like the same exact mountains that Rick had taken video of those ravens in honor of Devin to share with Jeff. So, I mean, it was just mind-boggling how much these kids were working overtime through the families and through everyone, you know, to let us know that we're here. And, you know, everything that I write is truly inspired by heaven. Otherwise, I don't have a reason to write it and share it. I really, you know, I really do love sharing heaven's message in everything that I share, whether it's writing or speaking, and because otherwise my opinion is pointless. So, you know, and it truly makes a difference when you're feeling heaven in those moments, and to see the ripple effect of love that so many people were touched with by this song, and the feedback that has come so profoundly from the parents as well. And go ahead. Did you have something else, Rick?
yes, I'd like to share one more picture if I can.
Please.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
Sarah.
you're not interrupting. We're all a part of this.
And let me share this, Lisa. You can add to this. This is a picture of, oh, that didn't work.
That's a
Do you
picture
see
of
my
us.
screen?
Everyone wave.
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah, thought I was better.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's okay.
This is a picture of Jeff's guitar. That end of a close up. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yep.
Jeff's custom made guitar, and he can talk about that, but it's important for everybody to see one more piece of the Raven stuck in there, and there was a great conversation after the recording of the guitar.
After the recording. Yes. So
go ahead. Sorry, I just wanted to share
no,
that.
that's perfect. Actually, that's actually a perfect picture, because after I got home from this recording studio, I mean, I was so wound up and so excited, and I know I'm skipping ahead just a little bit, but I was like, oh my gosh, he told me in order to release this for the parents, I was going to have to come up with a cover photo for this song. And I was like racking my brain going, what am I going to do? Because I didn't want it to be about me. I didn't want it to be my face. It didn't need to be my song. I wanted this song to represent heaven and the kids and the love that we have for them. And I got home and I played the song for my husband, and I have to go back after this for a minute, but I played the song for my husband, And I said, oh my gosh, I said, I was so touched that Jeff brought this guitar that is in honor of his son. And I said, and he played it for the song. And it was so cool to watch the owner of the studio, like, go over this guitar with Jeff. And Jeff, I'm going to throw this back at you in a second. But I said, I don't know what to use for the cover. And my husband looked at me and he goes, well, I do. And I'm like, what? And he goes, why don't you put Jeff's guitar on the cover of the song in honor of his son? And I was like, oh my God, that's it. It didn't need to be about me. I wanted it to be about Devin and Jeff's love for his son and your love for your kids, and all of those ways that we honor them was so important. So any general person might see that cover and go, okay, that's cool. It's a guitar on the front. Truth of it is, Devin's love is represented on the front of that. And Jeff, I would love for you to tell us a little bit about that guitar that's on the front of that cover.
Well, I have a passion for music and guitars, and I own more than I need. But so Devin's been in Spirit for about 15 years, and the guitar I think is about 6 years old. And I've got a good friend up in Canada who's a guitar builder, and I approached him for an idea with the project. And I didn't want it to be gaudy, over the top. It's not who Devin was. It's not who I am. So I just wanted to have some subtle symbolism on the guitar. So obviously Devin's totem for us is the raven. And that was pretty easy. On the fretboard of the guitar are 3 hearts, which represent the rest of our family. So Lynn and I share 1 fret, and then our daughter Kelsey is on another fret with her heart. And then the serial number of the guitar is actually Devin's birthday, 52787. So again, to Rick's point, the Wilcoxsons and the Hollahans share an affinity for the number 27. So that was very cool when that showed up. But yeah, that's it. It's a very special guitar. I chose the wood. The guitar turned out great. But what was interesting to me is, as a guitar player, Rick probably understands this too, because he's a musician as well. But especially with an acoustic guitar, when you're sitting down and holding it in your hands, the sound is going out away from you. So when I was sitting in the little booth of the studio, where Rick only surprised me with the camera once or twice. For a big guy, he's very stealthy and can move around that little booth pretty easily. But sitting in front of a very, very expensive microphone and listening to the guitar the way it was meant to be heard was a pretty amazing experience for me. It's a lovely guitar, and afterwards, as Rick and Fara were alluding, the owner of the studio, who apparently has 200 guitars in the studio for musicians to use. And he was playing it, and we were talking about it, and he wanted to know the story, and he had some very kind words to say about it. And obviously that made me feel good. So
Yeah.
nice to have it recorded for everyone to hear.
Yeah. So it just, you guys, so there was just so much behind the scenes, and I'm sure there's probably little parts of this that I'm forgetting, because there was so many things that just built up to these moments for this song to come out. And I mean, I never thought that I was going to get this released. I was just hoping to get it out at the conference. And so many parents were saying, oh my gosh, I love that song so much. Like, I would love to have a copy of it so that I can add my child's pictures to it, or do whatever they wanted with the song itself, because everybody understood that this song wasn't just about us. This song was inspired by the kids. And there's a feel that comes with that. And so, and it was our honor to share that feel as a group. And again, I didn't want this to be about me. I know, like, it's Fara Gibson's song, or, but the truth of it is, it's heaven's song. It's your kids' song. And it's just a message of love, as a reminder for you on your days, on your tough days, that they're here with you, and they're present, and they're cheering you on, and they're still hearing you, and they're still seeing you. And I mean, although I'm a medium, guys, you don't need a medium to tell your children anything for you. They can hear you always. You never, ever, ever have to have somebody else tell your child anything for you, because there's never a moment that they cannot hear your love for them. Your love, even if it's silent, is profoundly loud to them. Your thoughts are loud to them because your thoughts are your soul's voice speaking, and as well as your regular human voice is profoundly loud to them as well. So, but this song was just a reminder that they can see you and they can hear you and that they're with you. And the amount of work that Heaven put in over time, even, even us, we were like a couple times going, oh my gosh, this is too good to be true. Like this is just so crazy how this has fallen, together. And so you guys as parents sometimes will go, okay, I saw that sign, but there's no way. Like you almost humanly discount things later. This was so much compiled on top of itself to make this song possible that it was so undeniable. And I wanted to share that story with you guys because your kids are truly a part of making this happen. And Devin, obviously, for him to give his dad the guitar part to this song weeks before I sang it into a phone and sent it to Jeff, you know, that's just so, I was like, oh my gosh, why did you not tell me that? Because he told me that a little bit later and I was like, holy crap, because again, I think my biggest goal was not to make the song about me. And that's why I wanted everybody here to join in. Yes, I sang it. Yes, I wrote down the words, but the rest of it is these guys and Heaven just really making it happen. And I appreciate you all so much. So
Well,
Well,
I am so grateful that you've done this. And I want to just say that before we end the meeting, I want to play it again. But I would also just like for everyone to understand how forceful these kids are, because this is another
yes.
work of art that was brought through by the kids. Could you
Yeah.
just quickly tell people who might not
Yes.
know this story how to
So
write this book?
I was in my car. And I heard Heaven ask me, I need you to write a book. And I was like, okay, what am I going to do? Like, you want to put a poetry book out? Because I know a lot of clients had asked, people that follow my page, oh, you should put a poetry book out someday. Because I had already put 3 books out. And I was kind of joking because I'm a bit of a smart aleck. I'm trying not to cuss on here. But I'm a bit of a smart aleck. And then Heaven responded back, no, I need you to write a book for the parents. And I was like, that was and my literal response back was, you got to be effing kidding me. And I did say the whole word. And because the profound request that was going to really be on me, really, because everything's just flooding through my head in that moment, like, oh my gosh, I have to cover every type of passing that could be possible for a child, and what it means, and what life purpose is, and what all of the reasons that we do this and we go through the hard, and all of, from miscarriages to abortions to tragedy passings to babies born sleeping, all these things, like babies born with disabilities and what that means in a life plan, and people who have tragedy passings later, and people who have addiction journeys and suicide. I covered every single subject in that book because I wanted to give the answers that a lot of people don't like to talk about, to really bring peace to your heart and understanding, because I feel like the more we know, the less we fear. But that book was not something I planned on, and it was literally done within 3 months' time. And I have a full schedule, and Heaven literally cleared my schedule. My sandrail broke, so we couldn't go to the dunes. And I was like, I guess I'm writing, and then we couldn't go to the dunes the next time. And I guess I was writing again. Then we were in Aruba and I was trying to finish the book. And the day that I finished the book, I literally threw up my hands because I had 2 days of vacation left. And I was like, okay, if this is what you mean it to be, please give me a sign. And I got a profound sign in the casino that night. Holy crap. And I did not ask for that. It was, when it was released, it's just got so much good feedback. So yeah, it's how do I live life when my child is in heaven? And I don't take my words lightly. There's a lot of ethics behind what I do, no matter how cussy and how sassy and how fun I am. I can tell you that I have a profound team in heaven that supports and loves me every day to share the quirkiness that I am, because there's so many beautiful people out there that have these abilities as well. And then there's me. So, and I'm a little bit different, but I think having very different styles of mediumship is such a beautiful thing, because there may be something that resonates with somebody a little bit more than the rest. And the kids, I'm a little cussy, and so a lot of the kids, you know, resonate with me. But to write a book for them to bring peace to their parents' hearts, it was an amazing gift as well. Yeah.
So, Farah, I just want to say that one of the things about this book is that it tells a lot about your own life. It tells about the reasons that you have become the person that you are, so intuitive, so compassionate, because your life has not been an easy one, but
No, and I
you,
was born this way. So I was truly born, you guys, from birth. I've had my abilities. There's never a moment in my life that I have not had the abilities that I have. So I do feel like I was born for this purpose. But I think in order to share my abilities in a way that other people were going to really resonate with me, was I was going to have to go through hard moments, and I was not going to be able to just walk through some easy life and skate into this, you know. And I've literally tumbled, fallen, probably whacked myself around a few different times on this life journey to get where I am. I never had any teaching. I never had any mentoring. In fact, I had people telling me that I was crazy or I needed to be quiet about it. You know, it was not something that was embraced in my family. So really having to fight for every step that I've taken in this journey as a medium, I think has made me so profoundly strong. And I was going to need that strength in order to hold people up. And I would go through everything that I ever went through again to stand where I am today with the abilities that I have and the knowledge that heaven has given me to share with my abilities. So I was not going to just share my abilities I've had in my whole life. I wanted to know what was behind them. I'm as sassy with heaven as I am with you guys. So I was like, really, if you want me to share this, like, you're gonna have to give me the knowledge to go with it, because everybody's going to bucket. You know, I've had people pushing back my whole life, and I needed to be able to stand on my own 2 feet with beauty and love of heaven, no matter how hard people pushed against me and said, but you haven't done that, or you haven't done that, and you didn't. And I'm like, here I am, and it's a beautiful thing, because heaven paves the way for what's so important, and that's just really truly sharing faith and love. So yeah, and this song has just been a part of that. Yeah, so the book is just amazing, and it really is meant to bring peace to your heart. With the, I feel like, again, the more we know, the less we fear. I think that was really part of the amazing part about that book.
and we're so grateful for both of these that came out almost at the same time. It's pretty amazing that you did both of them in such short
Yeah,
order.
I'm done.
But as I say, I really would like to just play the song once again and maybe have some closing thoughts from you and maybe all of the people who collaborated on this song as well. So let me quickly go here, and I'm hoping I'm in the right place. Yes.
On the day I went to heaven, your life changed. All the things that seemed so simple just began to feel so strange. You never dreamed your life would go on without me. Living life without a child isn't how it's supposed to be. Every day you live in life with all the pain you have inside, I'm proud of you. And in the nighttime when you sleep, all my memories you keep inside your heart. We're not apart. And let me make one last request. Just live your life and do the best that you can do. For every day that you live on is a day that I'm not gone. I'm in
just so beautiful.
So
So
awesome.
much fun to listen to. And again, it's just so exciting to be able to know more about how this beautiful song came about,
Yeah.
and that it wasn't just Farah, although you are certainly the catalyst behind this, but all of the kids. Jeff, that guitar is just so incredible too. And I know that those riffs you had already picked out, you'd already learned them before
Yeah,
you.
apparently they're not mine. Can't take credit.
No, Devin wrote the guitar actually, so Jeff just played it. I would say, and you know what? I just want to say thank you so much to Jeff. He is the most patient, easygoing guy, and I might be like the opposite energy of him. And I think the balance between us, well, and I love his wife Lynn, because I feel like she's actually a little spunky like me. So he knows how to deal with spunk is what I'm saying. But Jeff, thank you so much for everything that you put into this song to make it so amazingly perfect and beautiful. Thank you for sharing your guitar for the cover, because I just think it's such a beautiful way to represent the song with love and with Devin and with your heart that you put into it as well.
Devin wouldn't have had it any other way. And just to throw it out there, to kind of show the level of divinity that was involved, if people really knew how little we practiced this together,
Twice.
they would be shocked.
Twice.
You and I got together once. I think you and I played it twice together
Twice.
before we performed it at the conference.
Correct.
And then Laura came over, and I think we ran through it 3 times
Yeah, I
together to
think
get the harmonies down. And then I
right.
think we practiced it once all the way through in the studio,
That's it.
and then ended up with that. So
And look
clearly
at
we
how
had some
proud,
support there.
look at how proud Devin is staring over your shoulder, Jeff. It's pretty amazing. He's just there
I
saying,
think
yep.
we're all so amazed at how it happened that we don't even know how we pulled it off, but we're glad we did. And I want to say a huge thank you to Laura for joining us on this song as well, because she was so amazingly giving and sweet and touched by this. You guys, like, Laura drove with me to Jeff's and to the recording studio. She just met at my house and rode with me. She was so profoundly touched to be a part of this song that it made me tear up. I was like, wow, because, you know, again, she doesn't understand what this is, what this world that you guys are in is, but she knew she wanted to be a part of supporting and loving it. And Laura, I really appreciate you joining us on the song.
You are very welcome. I just wanted to add, you're absolutely right. I couldn't possibly understand the perspective of the parents, but I knew it was so profoundly special. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. You made it beautiful, girl. And then to Rick, I really wanted to give a huge thank you to Rick for his patience and his diligence to make sure that we got a version of this song, and you know, for what he needed to work on with the conference, because really the conference video is going to be so important to share with this world as well, to share what the Helping Parents Heal conference is, to really have others have a better understanding of what a conference is that they would attend. And Rick just was so amazing to drive all the way from Sedona and come down and be present at that studio for hours, capturing video and pictures. But Rick, thank you so much.
Thank you for letting me be a part of it. And I want to reiterate what Jeff said. It was just so professional. I've had some experience in music studios, and rarely do they go so quickly. Everyone was professional, including Zach, the engineer who did it. It was a couple hours. You hear of songs taking days and months, and a couple
And
hours
you guys,
they were
and I
done.
didn't get to mention, but Rick, so when my husband suggested that we use the guitar that honored Devin for the cover, well, here's the thing. We had already parted ways. I was already home, and I messaged Rick and I said, Rick, my husband just had an amazing idea. I think that we should get pictures of Jeff's guitar. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'm going to have to try to get over there. And I have a full schedule of readings. You guys, Rick offered and absolutely went over to Jeff and Lynn's house. He took pictures of that guitar so that he could send them to me and he could get them to me so that we could get the cover created, because that was the only thing that was holding us up from getting the song out to the parents. So Rick, I appreciate you driving down from Sedona and spending the time there and also making the extra trip over to get those beautiful pictures of that memorial guitar that Jeff has in honor of Devin so that we
Thank
could make
you.
it part of the cover. I appreciate you so much.
It was my pleasure. I'm grateful to be a part. And the worst part of it was the nervousness of having Jeff's guitar for about 24 hours and wanting nothing to happen to that guitar.
It was
Oh,
on
wait a
it was
second.
on a satin sheet.
Rick, it never even crossed
is
my
the
mind. I knew it was in good hands.
This is the guy that all of you saw the first video that, well, one of the second conference where Rick carried chairs from the Sheraton on his back throughout canyons to take videos with drones of these incredible chairs sitting on mountaintops. So going and
That
picking
guitar has a
doesn't
twin.
sound like anything that would have been very difficult. But I'm grateful that you did, Rick.
Lisa, you said the guitar has a twin?
Yes, and I think that needs to be told.
Okay, I will happily tell that because Elizabeth's wonderful husband, Cyril, is also a musician, also a guitarist. And when he saw the guitar that I had designed for Devin, he said, yeah, I need one of those too. And Morgan is the big bear. So instead of a raven, he has a bear on the headstock of his guitar, and he has a bigger family. So he has 5 stars on the neck of his guitar and all that. But I've told Elizabeth this because invariably, if we go over to her house, she forces me, and I can tell you she can force you to do things you may not want to do. But if she puts Cyril's guitar in my hand, I literally cannot tell the difference. They're made out of the exact same wood. The neck is the same shape. Everything is identical. The sound is identical. So I guess, Rick, if you had done something to guitar, I know where I can get another one.
And I just have one more thank you, and that goes to Elizabeth in a huge, huge way. Elizabeth, honestly, the platform that you provided for this song to reach the parents would not have been possible without you and your beautiful heart and everything that you do for helping parents heal, and as well as Irene. I know that Irene's not here tonight, but without what you do, the love that these kids get to reach their parents with would not be possible. And I appreciate and love you for every single bit of healing that you give this world. This woman, you guys, is so driven. She never stops. I don't even know if she sleeps. And if she does, she's probably still answering messages while she's sleeping somehow. But and you are absolutely amazing, and I appreciate and love you so much. I always
Well, thank you. I love you too. And I just want to tell you that I think that we're all driven by the exact same thing. And it's so wonderful that you don't even have a child in spirit, but that you're driven by our kids. But these kids are very insistent.
they're
and
relentless. Yeah, I love it.
Jeff and Rick and everyone else on here knows how relentless they are. And I've had that same feeling, but it
drive.
always is a positive outcome. And I know that it's always something that is really important for all of us to be able to learn. So,
Thank you.
or to hear or to read or whatever it is that these kids want us to do. So thank you so much, Fara.
Thank you. And you guys, all the parents that joined us tonight, thank you so much for joining us for this story as well. And yeah, you guys have a great night. I love you all
Have
so
a
much.
wonderful evening. Make sure that you unmute and say thank you and good evening to Fara.
Yes.
And everyone
Thank
else.
you, Farah. We love you.
Oh my gosh.
Yes,
Thank
Elizabeth.
you.
Thank you, Farah.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Farah.
Thank you.
Be well,
Thank
Jeff.
you.
Have a wonderful
Thank you,
evening.
Thank you, everyone.
Next week, or no, Thursday. We'll see you Thursday. Take care. Bye,
All
everyone.
right.